When is the last time you plunged your hands into soil, dug through the earth, and felt her pulse? Few things are more noble than creating and discovering something with your own hands. In the Cordilleran Mountain Range in the Philippines, treasures are found. In Kalinga, this is a way of life. For centuries, people have tended the land to grow their food, to construct their villages on impossible terrain, to cook their meals, and to create their riches. Let's take a look at two trades that have been sustaining a community in Pasil, Kalinga. This is the story of the potters and the gold miners.
In Pasil, Kalinga, in the Philippines, people thrive in stories and traditions. According to an urban legend, Kabunyan, god of the sky world, arrived hungry in Dangtalan, finding no pots to cook with. He dug into the soil, made a pot, and cooked his meals for 3 days. Amazed, the village women began imitating Kabunyan's pottery skills. Pasil pottery is one of the oldest earthenware traditions, a rare craft preserved through the passing on of knowledge among women. Dating back to the 3rd millennium, it was once used as a currency to barter for rice. This sacred tradition, run and maintained exclusively by women, has transcended historical and cultural boundaries and influenced social relationships. Back in the day, everyone used to cook mostly in palayoks or clay pots until we started gravitating towards modern cookware. Due to the changing climate conditions, agriculture, and industrialization, it is said that the quality of local clay has altered over the years in many areas around the country. Due to that, some palayoks are more ornamental today and fall short of being sturdy enough for high-heat cooking. This is what makes the living masters of Pasil pottery important. They could be the last few makers of such palayoks in the country. While in Dangtalan, we took the chance to document the story of these remarkable women. It was a treat to be allowed to tag along and witness the process from start to finish. We followed the women as they walked towards the shores and valleys of the mountainside, where the clay deposits are perfect for all kinds of pottery. Clay soil can regenerate with enough organic matter and time. Nonetheless, the women consciously move through different plots of land, taking only what they need in harmony with the environment.
Come on, boy. Get out of there.
Ang buong Pasil kasi may 14 barangay. Dito naman sa baba, ang produkto ng kagaya dito sa amin, yung mga livelihood lang, pottery, ganun, coffee, then rice. Ganun din sa baba. Pero sa ngayon, parang bumabagsak din kasi, ewan, masyadong dumadami na ang mga sumisira sa mga tanim ngayon. Ang mga tao dito, may mga, ang tribes dito is 7 ang tribes dito sa Pasil. Iba-iba rin yung ugali. Sa Ginaang area, isa ang salita nila, may pagkaiba. Sa Balatok tribe, iba din. Sa Kulayo, iba din yung pagsasalita. Iba din sa Lower, sa Balintiagaw, iba, sa Kagalwan. Siguro yun yung pinagbasehan kung bakit naging isang tribe yung mga ganun, yung pagka-similarity ng pagsasalita nila.
Upon returning to the village, the potters prepare the collected clay soil. They pound and hydrate it to perfection before molding it into a banga or earthenware with their bare hands.
Okay.
Rowena Gonay, a farmer leader and co-founder of Slow Food Pasil, tells us more about the process and the women behind it.
Dito sa Dangtalan, isang pangkabuhayan na mga women ay pottery. Kasi yun ang ginagawa nila after work sa field. Pagkatapos ng transplanting, pag summer na, mag-umpisa sila ng February, gagawa sila ng pots. Kasi yung pots, bukod sa gamit sa bahay, binibenta din nila para binabarter for family use. Yung pagbabanga dito, old na yung mga ninuno pa ng mga lola namin ay potter na sila. Noon, gumagawa sila ng mga big pots na pang rice, ay yung wine, yung sugar cane. Noon na wala pa kaming gripo, yung mga gripo noon, yun ang ginagamit namin pagbuhat ng tubig sa spring. Yan yung Tapos malamig siya. Yung tubig na sa pot ay malamig. Hindi basta-basta na mainit siya. Ang advocacy natin, wag masyado sa plasticware, sa mga aluminum. Sabi nila may mga chemical yun kasi yan ang kagandahan ng pots kasi wala siyang kahit na mainit na masyado, hindi siya walang chemical. At saka pinakamaganda ang soil ng clay namin dito.
The magbabanga or potters usually work in groups rather than individually. In each village, there is at least one specialist who informally imparts the skills to the younger women. Stylistic features vary across villages, with masters passing down their knowledge, shaping distinct traditions, and molding social bonds within their communities. Before firing the pots, the potters utilized local raw materials and indigenous tools to engrave designs that reflect their individual creativity.
Ito ang aking mga gamit na paggawa sa banga. Ito pa ang Ito pa ang bato, bilog. Ito rin, pekpek. Pagpamalo ko sa puwet ng banga para bumilog. Pangpalitat, pag-ayos ng ng banga. Ito, agaos. Pangbawas sa loob kapag may makapal. Ito pala ay puya. Puya.
Lighter na yun.
Sayang yung drone, wala pa rin.
Nasaan yung drone?
Anan. Ayo. Kaya si Pakaw kumas. Salin.
Ito po yung Almasiga sap. So, ang tawag namin dito sa local dialect namin ay lipu. So, galing po siya sa Almasiga tree. Galing po sa kabuntukan ng Batong Buhay. Mahirap po siya kunin kasi doon lang po tumutubo yung mga puno ng Almasiga.
Para saan yan?
Pang pasiling, pang patibay.
Para hindi madaling tumulo yung tubig pag nagluto ka po sa banga.
Kapang pakintab.
Opo, pangpakintab din po.
Inang ay kinawaan mi ama na.
Kabajan.
Kabajan.
Nilagyan po nila ng kawayan, yung lutuan,
Ilalim.
yung ilalim ng paglulutuan nila. Nilagay po nila yung banga sa taas ng mga kawayan.
Tapos ilang oras po niluto?
Mga 1 hour din po siya maluluto. Pag di siya niluto, para po siyang clay lang.
O ede may mapak.
Pag hindi siya niluto, mag-crack siya. Kaya yun po yung silbi kung bakit siya niluluto muna. Opo, okay na po. Pagkatapos maluto, pagkatapos malagyan ng Almasiga sap, pwede na po siya.
The Pasil Potters Association was founded in 2005 to preserve the craft passed from mothers to daughters in Kalinga society. From 4 members, the group has now grown to include 48 members. We were also able to talk to their president, Albina Dimas.
Ang mga ito ay banga. Finished product na ginawa ko. Ito ang mga kasama ko. Si Rema, ito yung estudyante ko. At si Maybel. Itong mga employees na galing LGU. At si Madam Lonely.
Sabihin mo, siya yung chef.
Siya yung chef ng tagaluto ng Inandila at Inalago pa. Si Madam Rowena naman.
Iba yung mga ito, panglutuan ng food. Ito, pwedeng paglagyan ng papoy or fermented rice. Ito, paglagyan ng yung mga coins para makapag-ipon. Tapos, ito naman yung mga figurine. Tapos, iba-ibang sizes. Kung gusto mo yung malaking lutuan, yun ang depende sa order ng mga farmers.
Punta tayo doon, yung mga ibang gumagawa ng banga. Bahay ni ni Chinay, ni Elizabeth. Siya yung isang gumagawa ng alkansya. Puntahan natin. Okay. Ni Elizabeth, isang gumagawa din ng alkansya. Mas lalong marami siyang alam.
Marami alkansya, di marami rin pera.
Daming pera niya.
Patiin ka po, patiin kami.
Ayan yung mga finished product niya. Nito, dami. May manok, may kapitira.
Magkano po yan, auntie?
150 daw isa. Bili kayo? Si Priscilla, gumagawa din ng banga dito. Ito yung matanda na gumagawa ng banga. Susunod si Ate Priscilla. Dami silang ginagawa. Malalaki pa. Ito si Anita Alwood. Si Anita Alwood. Si Priscilla. Sila yung naunang gumagawa ng banga. Sino anon pepe o mapyanga tiyana?
Pepe on.
Sino anong piyangan pepe om? Ang paboritong ang chicha. Ang lahat daw.
Paborito.
Lahat daw paborito kasi ginawa nila. Ito yata yung 800. Ito yung 5. Ay, yung ginawa ko, 300. Kagaya nito. 300.
Lawer kaya ano.
It's amazing how the beautiful hands of the women of Pasil can transform malleable mud into timeless vessels that not only serve practical purposes, but also preserve stories and cultural heritage. This art form is a living link between past and present, essential for safeguarding Kalinga's rich legacy and sustaining the cultural fabric of the community. Let's continue to seek out cultural treasures like Pasil pottery, along with the stories they carry, wherever and whenever we can.
Walking around various communities in Kalinga, it's very rare to see someone standing idle. A few kilometers by foot here is a daily habit. People work multiple jobs: teacher in the morning, rice harvester in the afternoon. Even the kids lend a helping hand when it's harvest season. And the men can be seen toiling the land, building roads and structures, or even digging through the mountain for precious metals.
Sir, ilang taon ka ng minero?
2004 ako kasi nag-umpisa eh.
Wala pa namang na-aksidente.
Dami. Namatay eh.
Ano mga karamihan mamatay na yun?
Hindi. Sa gas, masuffocate. Kulang sa oxygen. Hindi kaya ng compressor.
Pero malaki kita.
Malaki pag tiyaga, sipag.
Gold, a universal symbol of wealth and beauty, has captivated humanity for centuries. In the heart of Pasil Kalinga, in the Cordilleras, this precious metal takes on a deeper meaning where gold is more than a treasure. It's a lifeline sustaining this community's livelihood, traditions, and values. Historically, the indigenous peoples of the Cordilleras developed their own sustainable practices of small-scale mining and gold processing, with minimum impact on the environment. Pasil has been constantly explored and occasionally mined since 1932, when gold was first discovered. It was also the site of the now defunct Batong Buhay mining project, which was once considered among the largest mines of gold and silver in the Philippines. In Balatok, one of the 14 villages within Pasil, locals practice gold mining in harmony with nature.
This is my process.
During our visit to Pasil, we met Raymart, a former miner who now buys gold from the young miners.
1987, yung mga Mountain Province nagturo sa amin yung mga ginto. Hindi mo alam yung may ginto dito, yung taga Mountain Province. Yung unang 1 gram noon, 4 pesos.
To get a glimpse of the tedious and risky process of mining gold, we tagged along Redford and Eric with his fellow miners. Like many rare metals, it isn't without risk. This is one of the most dangerous ways to mine for it. To reach the mine, we had to take a steep trek of several kilometers up a side of a mountain, a challenge for our team but easily navigated multiple times a day by Redford, Eric, and his fellow miners. The passages are remote and difficult, and our intuition tells us that the elders and leaders intended it to be that way, to maintain control and protect the resources.
Pag pumunta kami doon sa usok, ginamit mo yung silaw.
Nag-umpisa ka muna sa gagawa ng bahay-bahay, tapos umpisa ka butas ng tapos hanap ka ng naba. Ewan kung ang tawag doon sa naba sa Tagalog. Hindi, yun ang sinusundan pag may laman.
Pagka may laman,
Yun na yun. Kuha ka ng mga sako, karga.
grabe to ah. Malapit na. On.
Kasi bababaan niyo pa yan?
Oo. Doon lang yung malapit na. Kaya mo to. Yung kakadmamahod ka, ilaki ka. Sabi video ko ka. Alam mo, yun na dyan ba? Wait ako. Go!
Kumuha kami ng maso, silsil, yung ganito, sinisilsil namin.
Nyo, saan nyo nilagay itong mga to?
Dugan, no?
Tapos nilagay mo yung sako. Tapos i-roar mo dun sa labas, ilabas mo. Matapos yung nilabas yun, pag nakaipon kami ng 2 kaban, yung kaban, sabi mo yung sako, mali ito, minaso namin. Pag lumiliit, pag ganito yung kalaki, pwede namin i-bore mill. Pag matapos yung bore mill, nilagay mi doon sa saminto na kuan. Yan ang i-process namin. Gumamit kami ng corduroy. Pag matapos yung process, yung natignan nyo doon sa taas na maglinis. Pag nalinis yan, lagyan mi ng asido. O pag nawala yung bakal, pwedeng lutuhin. Lutuhin ng pag malalaki ang ginto, yung acetylene ang ginagamit.
The miners use a process that involves a minimal amount of concentration achieved by washing the ore with a hose on an inclined plane, with the wash water flowing over a carpet-lined secondary sluice to capture finer gold.
Gaya yung
Per gram.
depende sa SP. May SP ng 18.2, may SP ng 17.2, 17.3, ganun. May yung pinakababa na yung SP dito 15.9.
Pag pinakababa, mataas, high grade.
Oh, yung pinakamataas yung SP na galing dun sa taas.
Years.
Lakas mo ah. Ilan taong ka na?
49.
Bata ka pa lang. Nagiginto ka na.
Bata pa. Kung papalarin, may makuhang ginto. Pero kung mamalasin, kahit tansyo, wala kang makuha sa isang araw. Ganun ang... Pero kung palarin ka, pwede kang sa 2 oras lang pwede kang maging milyonaryo. Kagaya ng iba dyan na naging milyonaryo sila sa isang araw lang. Ang tawag dito, sampolpan. Pag ito ang tawag na pagpupuro ng ginto.
Mga ilang gramo na yan?
Nasa 5 siguro.
Magkano na per gram?
Depende sa sa base yung Itong 16 ang SP maabot ng 3,000. Pero mahirap talaga.
Bakit?
Kamo lang sabihin na buhay ka pag nasa labas ka sa paggiginto. Ganun ang ginagawa ng mga geologists. Doon pa lang sa tabok yung tubig, tinukuhanan nila ng sampol. Kung may mineral ang isang bundok. Yung dito, ang lupa dito, kahit itapon mo lang yung sayote, itapon mo. Kaya ang mga patatas, kusang tutubo at dadami yan na walang abono.
After the long process, the miners smelt the particles into gold ingots of varying carats and sell them to Raymond.
Dito ang 15.9. 15.9 yung SP na to. 15.9. Dito ang pinakataas. Ito ang 18.2. 17.3. Ito ang pinakamataas. Ito mga 7 gram to. 2 gram siguro to. 4.
Binibenta mo pa yan? Magkano yan, yung 4 grams?
Yung 4 gram dito 3,300.
Per gram o tatlo na? Yung 1 gramo.
1 gramo. Yung ito, 3,200 ang per gram. Siguro sa tabok, pag hindi bumaba, depende sa tumaas, biglang bumaba.
Carat refers to the purity of the gold. The higher the carat, the purer the gold. The numbers range from 8 to 24 for standard universal references, with 24 being the purest, most premium quality. In Pasil, the miners measure gold purity in what they call SP, which basically means the specific gravity of gold. This method determines a metal's density relative to a reference substance, which in Pasil's case is gold. To give you a clearer picture, gold has a density of 19.3 grams per cubic meter, which means if you get a figure lower than this for your gold, it is less pure and precious. The miners use a precision scale, a container with water, and a string or wire to hold the gold, then they do the math with a calculator.
The glimmer of gold in Pasil's culture tells a story of resilience, community, and a profound connection to the earth. But high rewards are almost always paired with high risks. Just as gold is a safe haven asset that retains its value over time, Pasil's heritage and the spirit of its people shine, priceless and golden.
While the world has seemingly moved along and is seemingly distancing itself from a more natural way of living, there are communities that fight for their way of life. Rural towns around the world are struggling. They all used to be self-sufficient, but are now losing their footing. Pasil is still very much a self-sustaining economy, and these trades, alongside agriculture, are pillars in ensuring their future. Things are changing though, and these communities face difficult environmental and social conditions. In these mountains, the work is hard and uncertain, but most wouldn't trade these cliffs for skyscrapers.